All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You're listening to Rare Sense Thoughts with Harry Shade on Blog Talk Radio. I'm glad you're here with me today. And this is part 2 of the wisdom of John Wooden. Now, for some of you that don't know John Wooden was the legendary basketball coach of UCLA Bruins, men's basketball coach up there, won 10 national championships in 7 in a row. Unheard of. But it was really his philosophy of life and how he approached coaching that made him legendary. I mean, the man really cared about his players. And again, in a philosophy that I carry through to today. And this is what I mean about he's touched many, many lives. I know there's got to be just thousands upon thousands of coaches out there that coach the way they do because of a coach like John Wooden. Well, what I want to do in the second half of today is just share some of his quotes from the wisdom of John Wooden. And the first one is, if you don't have time to do it right, when will you have time to do it over? Now think about that for a second. I think it's very profound. If you don't have time to do it right, when will you have time to do it over? I guess the idea here is do it right the first time. Put forth your best effort. Do everything you can to do it right the first time, because you may or may not have time to do it over again. How about this one? Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. It is courage that counts. Now, the interesting thing I heard him say one time, too, when he was talking, I watched a video of him speaking, and he said something about, there were times when his team scored more points than the other team, but they still lost. And there are times when they didn't score as many points as the other team, but they still won. And I think what he's talking about there is how they won and how they lost. If you gave it your best effort, you put everything that you could out on the floor, and you do the same thing in life, you do the best you can all the time, sometimes you're not going to win. And some people might call that failure. The interesting thing for me is I don't believe in failure as long as you're learning something from it. And so whether it's a loss in a game or whether it's a loss of a job or whatever it might be, maybe you failed a class. I don't think it's failure as long as you learn something from it. But great stuff there. And then if you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing anything. I'm positive that doers make mistakes. Another great, simple but profound statement. If you're out there trying your very best, you're doing the best you can, you're giving it all you can, you're going to make mistakes. Doesn't matter. Okay? Mistakes are going to happen. But mistakes only happen to people that are actually gotten off their butt and are doing something. Okay? So don't look at mistakes as failure. Look at mistakes as one more step closer to your goal of getting where you want to go. Okay? Mistakes, obstacles, anything you might want to call those types of things are just merely opportunities for you to learn and grow. So, go out there and make some mistakes. It means you're doing something. All right, the next one. The main ingredient of stardom is the rest of the team. See, once again, he had this philosophy that it wasn't the stars that were important to a team. It was the team itself. Everything about the team was important. And so, who have you surrounded yourself with? Who's part of your team that's going to help you become successful? Again, success is what you think of it, but who have you surrounded yourself with? Have you surrounded yourself with people that are going to tell you all the time that you can't do things, that it's impossible to do stuff, that you're crazy for even trying? Or are you going to surround yourself with people that are positive, that's going to give you positive feedback, constructive criticism? Now, again, we're not looking for people all the time to just always pat us on the back and tell us it's going to be good, but constructive criticism is how we can grow and move forward. Okay? So, I think really you should be surrounding yourself with those type of people that are going to support you in those manners, with constructive criticism and with encouragement and support that you can do the things that you've set your mind to. So I love that one. How about this one? You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. I love it. It's all about service. Going out and being of service to others. And again, there's a lot of times when, people are not going to be able to pay you, but you really don't want them to pay you. You want them to pay forward. That's the real idea. And that's what, again, I do every day is I put out information just even like this show, Fulfilled and Balanced Life, so you can go out and pay it forward. Okay? I'm not looking for anybody to pay me back. But I love the philosophy of that.
Is that you can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. I think that's great. Okay? And the last one I'm going to share with you today, I really love this one. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think of you. So yes, live a life of character. You know, be who you are authentically. Don't worry about actually what anybody else really even thinks about you, good or bad, because that's just merely their thoughts of you. That's your reputation. What really counts is your character. Because, you know, again, what people think of you, if they're saying bad things about you or thinking bad things about you, what does it really matter? If you know who you are. Wow. The wisdom of John Wooden. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I've merely just scratched the surface today with who John Wooden really, really was as a human being. I really think he was a great philosopher. I really feel that he could go down in history as one of the greatest philosophers of all time. He had simple wisdom. But you know, a lot of times it's the simple things in life that are the best. And you know, we're going to miss John Wooden, but his legacy is definitely going to live on in these quotes, in his writings, and more importantly, in all the lives that he has touched with his love, his compassion, and his wisdom. God bless you, John Wooden, and thank you. Thank you so very much for what you brought to this world. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Rare Sense Thoughts on Blog Talk Radio. I'm your host, Harry Shade, and I'm so blessed that you were with me today. If, after listening to this show, you know some people that could benefit from it, please do me a favor and tell them about the show. I thank you once again, and as I like to say, I'm too blessed to be stressed, and it's because of your support. May you be blessed always and in all ways, everybody. Take care now.